Hello, this is my second part in my two-part response to God, Soul, Spirit, Hopes video. Christians be strong against atheist. Now, we'll just move into what you were saying about your Bible, shall we? Right, this is about the only thing we're actually going to agree on. You state the Bible was not written to be a scientific book. Correct! Yes! The Bible was not written to be a historically accurate book. Yes, you understand now. Now you've got it. And because it's neither of those two, it's no good. It's useless. Right, but what you believe is that it's a manual on how to live forever. Or in your words, how to defeat death. That means how to live forever, as far as I can see. And since I've already pointed out, nothing is forever. Everything has a start, a middle, and an end. So, everything we observe, so why should life be any different? Have you got any answers for that? The sound of silence tells me that there's no any real answers with any real weight behind them, so we'll move on to your next point. And you're probably sitting there saying, well, yeah, I am actually saying, there he goes again with the other message. Fear God, you know, or he'll put you in a pit of fire. Proof. Where's your proof? Do you have any? Nope, there's that sound of silence again. None whatsoever. Next point. So, we have, according to you, reason to fear your God. Doesn't exactly sound like a loving God to me, but there again, I've read your Bible, don't forget. I know exactly what your magic man's all about. He's not about love, he's about hate. He's about, do as you're told, or I'll smack you down. Not exactly the kind of God I would have invented, but there you go. That's what you get from having a bunch of slaves who invent a God. Of course they're going to invent an overseer. And there you go, ranting on again. You don't know what's going to happen to you after you die. Well, yeah, I've already explained that. You know, your body's going to be put in a hole in the ground. It's going to decompose. Either that or somebody's going to come along and cremate you. Unless, of course, as you believe, there is life after death. But there again, I've never seen any scientific evidence to support that. Do you have any? There's that sound of silence again. Then you go on in a whining voice, supposedly to be probably a parody of Atheist. You're not a very good actor, right? So I'd just talk if I were you. You make a lot more sense when you're just coherent. But we'll dig into that. Yes, we do have evidence. We have evidence of the Big Bang, and that is how the universe got here. We know that. Okay? Abogenesis. Abiogenesis, whatever you care to call it. We have evidence that that is the most likely way that life started. Evolution. We know that is how we got all the different species on Earth, and we know. Okay? We have the facts. We have evidence on our side. What do you have? Now think about it. What do you have on your side for your beliefs? Do you have any scientific evidence? No. Do you have any kind of proof whatsoever? No. What do you have? You have your faith. And that's all you have, is your faith. Nothing else. So we'll move on to the next point. You then go on to this, you know, you have your evidence, and then you look at this idea of a court trial, and if innocent people get sent to jail, or even in the United States, innocent people do get put to death. Well, I don't live in a barbaric country that has the death penalty. We're far more civilised than you are. But I know, that's politics. Really shouldn't drag that into religion. We'll run with your point of the trial, though. A trial is generally made up of people saying you did something and the people saying no they didn't, you prove it. And if the prosecution happens to have scientific evidence such as DNA evidence that can prove that that person was at the scene of the crime, blood splatters and stuff like that that are consistent with beating somebody to death with an axe, and the corpse was found beaten to death with an axe, there's no reason not to believe the scientific evidence. None whatsoever. Fair enough, facts can be misinterpreted slightly, and sometimes you do get miscarriages of justice, whereas it does look like that somebody was sent to prison. After a while, though, the evidence that corrects the mistake is generally forensic evidence. They can prove, after a while, this is how the sources got contaminated, or this, that, and the other. But that's because science is self-correcting. But then that comes down to the thing of you're claiming that we say that we know it all, and nobody makes that claim. Only you make that claim because you have your answer of God did it, which means actually that you don't have to think anymore, you don't have to look at anything anymore, because you've already got the answer that satisfies you. But anyway, we'll move on to your next sort of point. You say that when I die, my evidence is going to save me. Well, no, I'll be dead, so it won't really matter now, will it? Because everything that was me will have been gone. The only place I will exist is in people's memories who knew me. And that's that, unless, of course, you can prove different, or even supply any evidence of such. There's that sound of silence again. So, I'll actually use your turn of phrase there, you know. Don't come up with any stupid comments about what happens after death, because you don't know. That's right, you don't know. You have no proof. You have belief, you have faith. But you don't know. That's right, you have hope in God. I'm glad you used that word. You have hope in God. Which means that deep in your heart, you actually realise that you don't have any proof for the existence of deity of any kind whatsoever. You just hope that you're right. And I think the primary reason why you go on about life after death is this is what you want. Is you're scared of death, you're scared of it all ending and having no purpose, and so you've got to believe in something that's greater than you are, that makes you a special person in some way. Well, unfortunately you're not. You don't understand your place. Let me show you. This is your place in the universe. Right there. Give or take a few 100,000 million miles. And then towards the end of the video, you are getting your knickers in a twist, aren't you, my friend? But you're perfectly correct in your assumption. I don't give a flying fuck about you. On a personal level. As a human being, well, yeah, I do care. But as an individual person, no, not particularly. You could get run over by a bus tomorrow and it wouldn't make any difference to my life, so why should I care? Can you answer that? Should I care for you? No, I think not. Especially since I've got no respect for what you believe or even how you put your beliefs. I've seen some of your earlier videos that you made, and you said, oh, I respected your beliefs. No, you didn't. You were very insulting towards people. Although, of course, you wouldn't have seen it like that. Because you, as you say, that on our side, we just want to be right. Well, it's nothing about being right. It's, as I said before, you know, a couple of minutes ago in this video, it's a bit like saying that tables don't exist, which is what I'm saying your statement is a bit like. Is by ignoring science, you're saying tables don't exist. And I don't need to believe in tables or have any respect in tables, is that tables are a fact of life. There isn't anything you can do about them. There they are. All you have to do is look, and there's a table. You can see it. But when it comes down to this God and afterlife business, is that there is no evidence. There's no facts that can be used as evidence. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. Like you say, it's quite clear that you've watched so many atheist videos. You don't know anything. Well, yeah, that's quite correct. You don't know anything. You haven't got clue one. You will forever be, as I said to somebody else, held in chains by your religion, blindfolded by your faith, made deaf by the sound of your own dogma to anything that contradicts your ludicrous beliefs. And with that said, God, soul, spirit, hope, I think I'll wrap it up, and I'll leave this as my response to your video. And if anything I've said has offended you, good. And if you keep making dumb videos like that, I'll be back to offend you later, you fucking prick.